back to the show. Transport workers today voted in trade union elections. Leaders of the unions, strongly allied with political groups, blamed each other for the sufferings of the common man. But the election itself crippled the bus network in Chennai, leaving hundreds of commuters stranded or struggling. Pir Mohammed brings us this report.
Tamil Nadu's 1.26 lakh transport workers employed by the government voted in elections conducted by the powerful trade unions. The DMK's LPF, the AIADMK's ATU and the CITU of the communists. But the voting almost reduced bus services in the city by half.
The allegations are partly correct, but not to the extent they are exposed. There are some routes we were not able to operate it because of the elections.
As commuters packed into busy terminals, long lines of buses remained parked without their crew, setting off crowd pressure and confusion at many places. The trade union election is seen as an indicator of the possible trend in the state election next year. The vote saw 90% turnout, with the AIADMK and the DMDK allied against the governing DMK. The results are due on Saturday. In Chennai with Pir Mohammed, Jay Santosh for NDTV Hindu.
In some more news from the city, the Chennai Corporation controls 6 basketball stadiums in Chennai, but nearly all of them lack basic facilities to host a match. Now, the biggest of them, the J. Lalita Indoor Basketball Stadium, is caught in a complex dispute. Sudarshan has the details. Broken basketball hoop, leaking roof and electrical fittings that don't work. That's the condition of the J. Lalita Basketball Indoor Stadium, which had witnessed some high-profile matches during the SAF Games of 1995. The bad state of the stadium has been blamed on a dispute between the State Basketball Association and the Chennai Corporation.
It's in a situation where no benefit is being done for the sport or for the association as such in this. We requested the corporation to give us the ground back, which is not happening as of now.
But the Chennai Corporation does not seem to agree with that.
I'm not aware, I'm totally new to this post. I have to check up whether they incurred any capital expenditure or not. The fact of the matter is there is a case which is still going on. And we will wait for the case to be over and the direction of the Honorable High Court. Based on that, we will take a decision.
Under a 30-year agreement which ends in 2015, the Jayalalitha basketball facility was built by the State Basketball Association on land owned by the Chennai Corporation. But if the corporation is determined to take over the facility ahead of 2015, it will have to pay a huge compensation. The next hearing of the dispute comes up in the Madras High Court next week. In Chennai, with Sudarshan, this is Ashmit Kumar for NDTV Hindu. Moving ahead of the second anniversary of the 26/11 terror attacks, little Moshe's grandparents recounted how Rabbi Gabriel and Rivka's only child, baby Moshe, remembers his parents and is growing up to be a cute and naughty boy.
Even though Moishi was only 2 years old when he left, and actually he was 2 years exactly, his birthday of 2 years was just a few days after he lost his parents. Even though he was only 2 years old, he fully remembers the place, and he still thinks of himself, and he thinks of his home as in Mumbai. And whenever he's somewhere and people say to him, "Come, we're going home," he always says, "No, my home is in Mumbai." Or he says, "Do you mean we're going to Mumbai? Because that's where my home actually is." So he feels very connected. He speaks English with Sandra, and he even knows some Hindi, which he speaks with Sandra. That was the wish of his dad, who felt that since he was living here and Rabbi Gabi and Rebbetzin Rifki had planned to dedicate their lives here, they had no plans of leaving actually. So they thought their son Moishi should know Hindi so that he could make friends, communicate with everybody. So his dad had wanted him to know the language.
Now, in some business news, the realty funding scam has hit the markets and stocks ended deep in the red for a third straight session despite positive global cues. Now, the Sensex closed 142 points lower to 19,318 and the Nifty declined by 66 points to close the day at 57.99.
Well, this market definitely has come under a tremendous amount of pressure. The series of scams have actually taken its toll. Let's try and look at what was the big highlight as far as the day's trading is concerned. That's a Sensex chart for you. Persistent weakness, a lot of volatility, and in the end, the Sensex looked extremely weak at closing. 19,318 is where the Sensex ended. And of course, the Nifty chart also presents a similar picture as far as the movement is concerned. That's Nifty for you, ending below 5800, so that's also a bit negative. There was expectation that 5840 could come out to be a strong support, but again this chart indicates heightened volatility, concerns on more downside. Of course, if you look at the big aspect, it talks about financial stocks, the way they have come under pressure. Money matters. India Infoline, of course, India Infoline on the back of the QIP that they did, they still continue to track that stock. Bank of India and LIC Housing Finance, a couple of companies which have been named as far as the Soul scam is concerned, took a big knock as far as trade. Of course, among other companies which are in the controversy, Hindustan Construction sold off pretty strongly, Suzlon, BGR Energy, Ashapura Mindchem, all the companies tried to play down the issue, came out with press releases clarifying their stance, but somehow got hammered out of shape as far as the market performance is concerned. Again, real estate got hammered out of shape. There's been absolutely no buying. Selling pressure has consistently played out as far as the stocks are concerned. DB Realty came out with the clarification. The management told us that they have absolutely nothing to do with this scam. However, of course, the stock sold off 10%, HTIL, Unitech, DLF. So most of the banks, most of the real estate companies, I must say, whether Delhi-based, Mumbai-based or even pan-India, took a bit of a knock as far as trade is concerned. Of course, technology was the only outperformer in this market. Infosys, TCS managing to outperform as far as the market sell-off is concerned.
Now, Nandalala is amongst the big ticket releases this weekend, and we were joined by the crew, the producer, the cinematographer and the child artist. We'll bring you all of them in just a few moments.